Oh, all right. Here we are. Let's straighten this up so we can. There we are. It's almost like a regular show. 6:30, right on the nose. I love being on time. I'm very rarely on time. How y'all doing? So I thought I'd give you. I don't want to shock anybody. You see me in a different shirt, and you saw my other shirt, the dumbbell shirt, just so beautifully laid out. I wanted to give you a little behind the scenes of how I prepare for the show. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into delivering this high quality content. So, you know how some shows give you a little behind the scenes take? I thought I would do that today. I always love the outtakes of shows and the behind the scenes. That's always my favorite part. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek on what it's like to prepare for the Steve Squared Show. Don't turn away. So what we do, this is how we prepare. This is how I prepare. Okay, so that's how I prepare. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, on a rainy day and Mondays get you down. That was from that's what Karen Carpenter would always say. It does, right? It's that feel of that rainy day Monday. But I'm going to lift you up. I'm going to give you not that gloomy, doomy, rainy, drudgery Monday feel. I'm going to lift you up. And how do I do that? Well, first of all, a funny hat is always a good thing to do. First of all, you know, I like to dress in the season of what's happening. We are in the middle of the week of St. Patrick's Day. So what better than to don a green St. Patrick's Day hat? Look at this, baby. This has been through the mill. You might remember this from last year. Let me see if I can... Yeah, let's go this way. There we go. I like this. That's not bad. What do you think of that? Little St. Patrick's feel? I know St. Patrick's Day is still a few days away. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Share the show. I almost forget to do that. Let me share the show real quick. Because that's the favorite part. I want to share this with all of our friends around the world. Not really. But on Facebook. And let's see what we can do here. So what we'll do, let's share this baby. So you amuse yourselves for a second. Did you all turn the clocks ahead or behind? I don't know what time it is. I hope this is the correct time for the show to start, because I really have no idea where we are. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're right on the nose. Here we go. So I put that on. Oh, look, there's this is my show right here. Oh, this is all confusing because what's happening is I'm watching the show in real time. That's a little confusing. Let me get rid of that. That was weird. I was watching the show start, and that's pretty funny. I've never done that before. So I'm myself on delay. And so what I'm going to do is share this baby with my Facebook people. There's too many passwords and things to remember. Everything is a password, and how do you remember everything? I don't even know if this is right. Let's see if I even log in correctly. Nope. See, I knew it, but I do know the correct one. There's so many passwords to remember, and usernames. I mean, how many times have you had to request because you forgot? How many times have you clicked forgot password and had to restart everything all over again? Hey, I'm in. Here we go. Boom. That's fantastic. So now, okay, so now we got that going on. Now what I have to do, because you all love this, get our blurps going. So have you adjusted? They're thinking about doing away with this. They keep debating this thing about turning the clocks ahead, turning it behind, daylight savings. I mean, this is our first show, and it's still with the daylight now shining. It's 6:35. It's still beautiful outside, and it's pretty amazing. So, and now here's another thing I have to log into. Sorry to bother you with all of the administration stuff, but I have some really good news about St. Patrick's Day for you guys as well. St. Patrick, is that a big... that's an Irish soda bread, corned beef cabbage type of thing. You know, an interesting note about St. Patrick's Day, the original food was ham and cabbage back in Ireland. And what happened was, because when it came to America, in the Lower East Side, the real slummy part of Lower East Side, not all of what it is now. Now it's all slum. But the real slums in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, you know what I'm talking about, they couldn't afford ham. So they used corned beef, which was a cheaper type of meat, I guess you would call it. So that's where the whole corned beef started. Now, interestingly enough, corned beef, they cooked it 3 times to get the brine soft. And on the 3rd time is when they mixed it with the cabbage and potatoes. So that is the history of the corned beef and cabbage. Let's see what we got here. So let's see. Steve squared. And we're logging in. And we should be... We're not in. We're not in. SteveUpOnline.net. That looks good. This is interesting. It's not letting me in. Well, anywho, not letting me in. So, anyway, hey, if any of you know where I could find this cream, this is the only cream that helps my hands. I have this dry, you ever get really dry hands? This cream was magical. It was one of those infomercials from Skin Fix. And this cream is so good. I just spilled some on me. It smells great. It softens your hands instantly. It's not greasy. It really gets your hands. If you ever had cracked, dry hands, you know what I'm talking about. So this cream I've been trying to find, and it's really been hard, but I've been able to. So I cut the tube, as you could see, to try to get as much out as I could. And I did. Yes, the war has been won. I have done it. I have beaten the squirrels. You might have remembered. See, this is a 3-part war I have been tackling. I first started long ago with the bees. You remember the bees? We were fighting the carpenter bees. And we were not, speaking of rainy days and Mondays always get me down. And then, after the bee fiasco, we were battling the bees. The Battle of the Bees. Then we moved on to bigger and better things, because what goes with bees but the birds? So we went to fight the bird battle, and that was when the birds made a home right above our porch, and they were going to the bathroom and dropping all of their food and other things all over the porch, and it was a mess. So that was the summer of love, I call that. Now the squirrels come, and you hear that first scratching. So my folks are like, "You got to come over here. There's a squirrel problem going on. I hear something, right?" So, and I heard it too. I was debating whether to just pretend I didn't hear it and tell them everything was fine, but it was, they were having it. So I contacted this guy. This guy is phenomenal. His name is Omar. If you ever need something done around the house, he's a really good handy fix-it guy, but he's a real roofer guy. Does a lot of the roofing, your gutters, all that kind of stuff. He is phenomenal, and he saw we had 2 holes. They had 2 holes in their roofs. He patched them up. Bing, bang, boom, squirrels. Hopefully they were... we looked in the attic, didn't see they were there, so hopefully they were gone. They came back. They were like, what? We go out. It's like when you go out of your home for a couple of days, you come back and there's a foreclosure sign on the home. And you're like, what happened? Did I miss rent? So this is what's going on right now with the squirrels. They went out for maybe a 2 or 3 day vacation, maybe a business trip, maybe the forests for nuts. It's getting into that nut season. And they come home, and their home is now boarded up. So they must travel somewhere else. So that I have now beaten birds, I've beaten bees, and I've taken on squirrels. If this doesn't take off, this show, if Dumbbells doesn't take off, if anything I do doesn't take off, which, by the way, none of them have, I might find a new business for myself. I might go on Shark Tank and be the purveyor of getting rid of your rodents, bees, start my own extermination business. I also think I'd be a good negotiator. I was negotiating this week with several deals with Optimum and Newsday and Verizon, really getting rates down. I called Geico and I had a debate on the phone. I said, I have a good driving record. Why is my insurance gradually going up? Well, they gave me some cockamamie story about incremental increases due to... I said, look, let me stop you there. So obviously there's the safety driving nonsense, which I will take online. But we were able to... She worked out some... I always feel... Sometimes I get hysterical. I went the route of calmness, trying that way. And it seemed to work. Verizon, Newsday, they all gave some deals. So if you need negotiating going, I think I'd be good. I told my friend this. She was going to get a car and she's renewing a lease. I said, bring me. I'm they call me the negotiator. Steve would attest to this. By the way, he's not here today. I don't know where he is, somewhere in the hyperspace. But who is here today, and of course donning the green for the St. Patrick's Day show, even though we're early, is Kermit. Looking vibrant green today. Really enjoying. I think I have been really taking care of Kermit. A lot of water, a lot of sunshine. We've been doing pretty well with the weather, so it's a little rainy, so you can't complain because we've had, 1 week left of the winter and we're home free. So, knock on wood. We'll probably get bombarded. But, anyway. What else happened? Did you see, and we will talk about it and get into it. Jeff will call in. I'll wait on Jeff for that. There is of course, the whole Oscars was last night, and I really don't like award shows. I'm not a fan of them. But, and the Knicks were playing at the same time, and I had to see that nightmare, which, by the way, they won. They beat the Lakers. Very good. But I'm watching the Oscars, and, I want to see, and it's things that... we're in a world where everybody's trying too hard, right? They're trying too hard to hit that narrative that we all need to stay in that lane of kindness and just this real kumbaya feeling. And if there's anything I can't stand is nice. I don't like niceness. I don't like kumbaya. I don't like saying the right things. I like shaking it up, breaking the status quo. So that show's all about, everybody's proud, a strong, a vibrant, it's a blah, 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 blah. You're just actors. Take your little trinkets and go home to your mansions. Stop it. But anyway, was a couple of interesting categories I was dialed in for. Most of all was the Best Actor. And so I was happy to see Brendan Fraser, a really actor I like for many years, of course. We know the Mummy franchise that he made famous with, of course, one of my favorite actresses, Rachel Weisz. So they were great in The Mummy, and boo on Tom Cruise for trying to remake The Mummy. Remember when he did The Mummy? It was terrible. You can't, certain things just leave alone. And so Brendan Fraser, he was great in School Ties with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I loved him in The Scout with Al Brooks. That was a funny movie. I mean, so many. It's just endless. But he finally, for The Whale, won an Oscar. It was really cool. I liked Ki Kwan. That won for, I still don't know how to say the name of the movie, Everything and Anything, Everything, All at Once. I've tried to watch that movie. It won 47 awards last night. Any award, it won for Best Title, it won for having the most ease, and everything's in a title. It won everything. Everything won everything. So, good for Key. He won. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, for 40 years, this poor woman's been screaming, being chased by Michael Myers. She finally gets an award. I mean, I don't know how she has a voice still. You're talking 40 years of screaming through 42 Halloween movies. And she finally gets an Oscar. I don't know what... The movie's about this multi-universe, upside-down world. I couldn't tell you. I've tried to watch it. The only thing I get out of it is they have these hot dog fingers. I don't know. But I'll try to watch it for the 47th time, and of course I'll get 5 minutes in like I always do and be like, I can't watch this. But, so that one, and of course there's always a little... I was hoping for something as magnanimous as the Slap from last year. I was hoping this was going to happen because there was the little Angela Bassett thing, right? She was up for Wakanda. And she obviously, in some warped world, thought she should win. This was actually, and Marvel movies, actors and actresses, they're never nominated for anything because they're usually just jumping up and down in front of a green screen with a tight suit on, or something like that. But, okay, so they do that. Fine, whatever. I understand. I get it. It's 2023. I can change. I can roll with the punches. So, but boy, she obviously, everybody's applauding Jamie Lee Curtis because it's not just about that, but it's about this whole career. It's about her parents. It's about a lot, right? Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. It's this kind of interesting dynamic of family and her career, and it's a nice moment for her. But of course, Angela Bassett sits there with her hands folded, angry, and right away screaming, this is not fair, and everybody, really with this sore loser type of attitude. But of course, I mean, award shows bring out the best in us, right? You SOB! And I don't know why people, I don't go on Twitter, but when something like that happens, I like to see what the chatter is, especially with a show the next day. And, but by the way, the Oscars, I was really surprised, was sponsored by Celsius, clean and refreshing beverage of the Oscars this year. So the chatter was back and forth, but a lot of people were like angered and that she, we feel bad for you, and like, feel bad? I don't understand how in what world would you feel bad for these people that make hundreds of millions of dollars acting in movies? She's jumping in front of a green screen. She's a great actress. I loved her in that Tina Turner movie. What's Love Got to Do with It, right? That was back in the 90s. So what is the problem here? Like, this is who you... Is your life so perfect, this is who you have to feel sorry for? Is someone not getting a gold statue? Like, is that the biggest... mountain to climb. Is that the biggest controversy? It just I hate that stuff. It really bothers me. I hate when people are so dialed in and are like, "Oh my God, she was right. How dare they do? How dare who do this? Who cares?" I don't care. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so Jeff will call in. We'll talk. We'll get into it a little bit. Did you turn the clocks ahead? I hope you're right. You're at the right time. It's always weird. The car clock. Sometimes I leave alone, and then it's back on par the next time it turns back. I like this better because I like the signs that spring is coming. And big news straight out of the diocese. I know you guys have been waiting for this. Don't worry. I'm giving you the clearance along with the Pope or somebody. You have a special dispensation. Friday is St. Patrick's Day. So when this happens, there's a big quandary. There's a quagmire. There's a befuddlement, if you will, where do we eat meat or not? We love to eat, you gotta eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day. Some people do, I don't. But Friday you don't eat meat during Lent, right? So this is the toils that we have to figure out. So they did it for you. They said, don't worry, the Roman Catholic Church on Long Island says they have lifted the requirement and be abstaining from meat on Fridays during Lent. So St. Patrick's Day falls on a Friday. What this means is that the Catholic Church says, enjoy your corned beef, as salty as it may be. Although the Diocese of Rockville Center puts a little caveat on it. It asks if you could do something else in lieu of that. So maybe you could do some penance, a prayer, a charitable thing, maybe bring a side of salty beef to your neighbor, something nice. But don't worry, don't feel guilty, engage in that real salty beef. Which, by the way, was my favorite band in the 90s, Salty Beef. Man, were they good. Oh, what a band. They were like grunge, but their songs were terrific. Hey, congrats to Emily. You remember Emily. She used to be part of this show. Now I don't know where she is. Now, Emily's been busy. I want to show her flyer. She just directed As You Like It at South Shore Theater. Now, Emily was just actually in a table read I did of Dumbbells, so she was part of that, and she's a great actress. This was her first foray. There's Jeff. This was her first foray into the directing. As You Like It. I'm going to pick up Jeff just so he hears us. Hold on a sec. Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Dave.
What's up, bud? Hold on one second. I'm gonna set you up here, make you a little louder. So I was just saying, I was giving Emily a little plug. You remember she did made her directorial debut.
Yes, I heard.
Now Jeff is a big Shakespeare connoisseur. If you talk to Jeff, there's not a Shakespeare show that has been on Long Island that Jeff hasn't attended. Do I exaggerate, Jeff?
It's your show.
I'm exaggerating. Jeff despises Shakespeare the way I despise corned beef. No, I don't despise corned beef. I have nothing against corned beef for all the corned beef farmers out there. But she did a great job. She put a little spin on it. So instead of as the normal Shakespearean comedy, As You Like It, with Rosalind and the whole romance, she made it set in a high school. So I thought it was, that was a pretty neat twist she put on it. Very good for her. Bravo for her. All right, so we cleared up. Jeff, I was worried that you didn't turn your clocks ahead, and I thought maybe you'd call after the show was over. But you're right on the money.
I don't turn clocks back anymore. It does it automatically.
Right. There's no turning anything, right? Everything is the phone, and you're good to go. The cable box, it all does it for you.
Turn up the clock. What is that? I have no idea.
Well, you must have a clock. You don't have a clock on the wall? One of those really nice clocks?
No.
Okay.
I got my phone. Don't need a clock.
All right. Well, the clock, it's more for an art. It's really part of... Okay. I got my folks this really beautiful clock for their anniversary. It's gorgeous. It's in the living room. It's a beautiful clock. I was at my sister's yesterday, and they have a dog. They got a new cute dog, Sophie. Very cute. And I'll be watching Sophie. Now, don't forget, we're in wedding watch now. We're locked in now. What's today's date? The 13th? We're 12 days away from this wedding happening, my nephew. And the night before is I'll be watching the new dog, Sophie. And so I'm very excited about that and see how I'll do. But look what happened to me. I'm showing this because I know my sister's watching. I was at her house yesterday and I got bit by some unknown, and it's itching me, so I'm having a little problem here. Now, Jeff, did you watch the Oscars?
Of course.
All right, wait, I'm going to try. Jeff, let me try to put your volume up a little more. I just want to get you a little louder.
My volume is at maximum.
All right, you're good. Hold on one sec. All right, try that.
Is that any better?
Yeah, talk as loud as you can, because it's, I don't know why it's a little quiet, but not horrible. So, what did you think of the overall show?
Oddly enough, it was a lot better than recent years. I like that they put all the categories back in. Nothing was left for
Right.
You know,
Yes, they tried to really, get, any category they could. Best gaffer, best, best boy.
best gaffer tape technician.
Best tape guy, best everything. So they, best art director, all of it. So, which is good. You want to be recognized. But did you? I was a little disappointed. Other than the Angela Bassett controversy, I would have hoping for a little more physicality in my show. I like a little more altercation.
I tell you what, she was close to going up there and just murdering Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, I would have wanted to see that. I would have paid to see that.
Did you see the look on that woman's face?
Angry.
When they announced Jamie Lee Curtis.
And here's the messed up thing. A couple of weeks ago, she's on with Gayle King or doing an interview, and they talk about when she didn't get the Oscar for What's Love Got to Do with It, which was a great movie. She did a great job.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Really good.
yeah, fine. So she said they were like, well, do you hope to get the Oscar here? And she's like, I don't care about that stuff. I'm in a point in my career where I'm happy to work. And then a week later, she's like, they're holding her back. She's going over to. And now let me tell you something. Jamie Lee Curtis has been chased by Michael Myers for over 40 years. She was not good. She would have taken down Bassett in a second. You don't mess with Jamie Lee.
Yes.
She's had to chase a knife-yielding killer for 45 years.
Yep.
So I don't care. Some mad Wakanda woman's not going to take her down.
No, it's like, she could have at least clapped.
Oh no, absolutely not. She showed her. But I like when people show who they are. I don't like phoniness. So if you're a sore loser, you're angered, you're whatever, good. Let the world know who you are.
She's a total thorn.
Exactly. So show it. I appreciate that. Don't be show that you're really just jealous. Sore loser. I love it. Other than that, there was one other thing that was a little. They do that in memoriam thing.
Oh, they screwed that up.
Yeah, they left out Paul Sorvino.
They did?
Yeah, his wife, Dee Sorvino. She was very upset today.
His daughter's not very happy either.
And Mira Sorvino, of course, who's wonderful.
A few people out of that.
Yeah, Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, Sizemore.
So and they always give this nonsense. Well, we're rushed for time. The show was 7.5 hours long. You spend 5 minutes bringing a donkey on stage to get a laugh. You brought that whatever donkey. That bit took over 5 minutes. So you're telling me that the 1 second it takes to scroll through names you couldn't do? That's where you pick to save time.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Not singing Happy Birthday to that kid on stage. That was awkward.
I really hope that they take a lesson from the SAG Awards and cut a deal with Netflix.
Yes.
Putting it there.
Totally. I think they should.
That way you don't got to cut anything out. You don't got to stop for 1,000 hours of commercials. You just run the show.
Right. That's totally the best way to do it. People, the running joke is it's too long. So they have to change it. It's just ridiculous to have it going on for 4 hours. You know, to see who won best whatever. So
Yeah.
who won? I pretty much know. I mean, I think you were. I'll get your take. I think you were as shocked as I was, but you saw the movie and you kind of liked it. Everything and Anything, or what's the title of this movie, for God's sake?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Why is it becoming so? I mean, was it a fun? I don't see it.
I don't get it. I don't understand why this movie took away 7 Oscars. I just don't get it. I saw it once. I wanted to walk out several times.
Right, I remember when you were one of the first to see it.
Yeah, so like, what the hell am I watching?
It's very confusing.
I have to watch it again. Somewhere in that 3-hour movie, I missed 7 Oscars.
I don't think you did. I think, as I said, there's a certain machine and a narrative that usually gets sent down that they pick the one movie and they want it to clean house. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that goes on either under the table or whatever the propaganda machine or whatever is going on here. Because it's too odd. It's always a movie that runs away with 12 Oscars. Like, it wasn't a 12 Oscar movie.
No, it's not. I don't get it.
I mean, it's a nice whatever, and Ki Kwan was good, and from what I saw, again, I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm guessing he was good.
I love that he won.
Yes, no, that was great.
And I love that it was Harrison Ford who handed him his Oscar.
Yeah, oh, that was great.
That's a great thing.
Total. Well, those things are nice. I like those things. See, I'm not all bad.
No, you're all right.
Thank you. I like those. I am very but I am very angry. But I don't know. It was really. It even won. It didn't win best song, right?
No, something else really.
The Indian song.
Yeah, like how the hell?
I've never heard of that song called Natu Natu.
Oh, I listen to it every day.
Yeah, it's awesome. I work out to that song.
I can't stand Rihanna, but how the hell does that beat Rihanna?
Right, or the Lady Gaga song.
I don't get it.
Like, even, I'm not a Lady Gaga either way. I mean, she's, obviously talented, but that was a popular song too. Like, I just, again, that's part of what I'm saying. I think there's a higher being that's pulling the strings on all of this and saying, look, we're going to recognize this. This was, I don't think one person heard of this song.
So they're not treating the best song. They just want everybody to get a chance.
It's right. It's about getting each person in there somehow. Okay, I get it. This is what it is. It is what it is. But don't pretend that that's the best song.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's kind of ridiculous. But at least I was happy for Brendan Fraser and The Whale.
That was the best of the night.
Yeah, he was really good. I was really hoping for him.
Fraser needed to win that award. He freaking deserved it.
Yeah, I mean,
over.
Yeah. So that was, and we saw that movie. He was great.
And I love Kimmel as the host.
Yeah, he did. He was okay. He didn't try to do anything too corny, except for the donkey.
No.
Except for the donkey. I guess, is that donkey from that Banishes of Inners? I don't know. There's not one movie I know the title of.
The Banshees of Inisherin, yes. I've read the script for it. The donkey is part of the script.
Okay. So I was hoping there was some connection. Now, was that donkey up for anything? Was that donkey up for Best Actor?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, okay. Well, because it did a wonderful job on stage. Now, that's all said and done. Goodbye to those movies, even though they'll be now all over Netflix. So Scream comes out this weekend. Scream 6. Are you a Scream franchise person?
I saw the first one.
You saw the first one.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about it after
that. Right, I remember you saying that. I saw the first one as well. And I saw a couple of parts of the other Screams, but I think what this Scream is doing what the original Scream, when you had Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, way before she got into fillers and Botox. That was pre-Botox Courtney Cox. That was Botox Cox. And you have, Henry Winkler was in it, David Arquette. It was a very funny cast, and it was a lot more comedic and making fun of. The whole premise was good. Like, okay, it was cute, good idea, and like they're trying to act out how they would solve in a horror movie. So it was kind of spoofing it. That's funny. But then it gets now it's filling it with Netflix 19-year-old stars. It's this new thing that's the new engine. It's let's put Jenna Ortega in it. Let's put all of the hot 18-year-old actors and that are on Netflix on these shows and try to make it like a CW thing, like a Riverdale. Or, you know what I mean? Like that's what they're shooting for now. They're like, that's where our meat is, that's where our bread is buttered, is the 17 to 19-year-old, the tweens. And that's kind of where I feel this movie was more directed towards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They went away from what it was, and it's just, let's just put every hot Instagram YouTuber that's on our shows on Netflix and put them in this movie. Nev Campbell is not in it. Arquette's obviously not in it. And whatever. But it made its money back in the first weekend, of course.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, sure. It made. The budget was $33 million, and it made just U.S. It made 45 this weekend, and globally 60 something. So, I mean, it's like you put it. I wanted to see that movie 65, the movie with is it and Brody? Is he that?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. Thank you. Did that looked interesting, no?
It might be. I was kind of considering seeing it this weekend.
Yeah, I want to take a look at that. I was kind of waiting for it to come out. I was interested. Looks interesting.
Yeah, it's more dinosaurs.
Yeah, I like dinosaurs. I can't get enough dinosaurs for me.
Oh yeah, give me more dinosaurs.
I want more cowbell and I want more dinosaurs. But what are you gonna do? I don't know if you know this, Jeff, but you're good to go to eat corned beef and on Friday.
Well, all right.
Yeah, the Long Island Church has passed down that you can have a meat-filled Friday. Because
good luck for them.
St. Patrick's Day falls on a Friday this year. So.
Well, ain't that nice?
So yes, oh my God, I was so angered about this. I was reading about this. This is a story. Let me put this up. I'm going to show it on thing. It says fewer bumps along Long Island roads. They're trying to come up with this nonsense, and they come up with some stats that the roads are fine because there's less potholes. Blah blah blah. That couldn't be further from the truth. There are craters all over the southern state, the LIE, Sunrise Highway. I don't know if you found this.
I mean, I still see it up there.
They're enormous. And didn't Hochul give Long Island... Hochul? Is that her name? Hochul?
Yes.
Didn't she give like $1 million to Long Island to fix potholes? First of all, $1 million...
I see the crews out there doing road work.
They're out there. I don't know if they're doing road work.
It just seems to be taking like forever.
I mean, it's ridiculous. The roads are terrible, and this wasn't even. They can't even blame it on the weather. So if they're going to sit there and go, well, it's winter time. We've had a 45-degree winter all year. I mean, there was no snow. What are they talking? There was very few freezing cold days where you would have expansion of water cracking the ground. So what are they saying? What's their rationale here?
Do you really want rationale from local government?
That's true.
Really?
I'm going to have to, you know what this is going to have to be? Jeff, you're going to have to bring your camera and you're going to film me. I'm going down to the town hall meeting.
We got to get that.
I'll find out when it is. I always like to. I went with Steve once years ago when a restaurant opened up in town that nobody liked. I always like to make an appearance at the town hall meeting and give my opinion. And they're like, "Sir, do you live here?" No. I just wandered in. But
get the filming permit. I'll be there.
Forget that. You're always so worried about permits. Let me tell you something about Jeff. Jeff likes to do things by the book. He looks for permits, getting rights for using. So I don't know nothing. Let them come get me. That's my policy. Let them come get me. I use music on the show. I've been Facebook jailed. I don't care.
Copyright law? What the hell is that?
I couldn't even spell it. I copyright nothing and use everything. That's the name of my movie. But I was very pleased to see Hofstra taking a stand here. They did an open letter in the paper, and I'll make this a little brief. I'll edit it with a little brevity here. An open letter concerning the proposal for a casino in the Nassau area community. So they're trying to put a casino in by the college there.
Yeah. Sure.
And they were hoping that that would be a new course this semester, Blackjack Dealing 101. They'd offer a major in casino gambling. I mean, everything a new college graduate needs is to blow the tuition fund. Let's go! Put it on number 92! So,
gotta fill the cards.
Yeah. So, it says here, Hofstra students comprise approximately 1/4 of the nearly 40,000 students, ranging from preschoolers to graduates. And you don't want preschoolers gambling. I mean, it's one thing if college kids, but you get a 5-year-old hooked on dice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the next step is the pipe.
Back to the 5th grader Texas Hold'em table?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Hey, get me another juice box, huh? I don't want to leave. I got a heater going on here. Get me a high C fruit punch. I got 3 ladies sprawled out on the table here. So it says here, the Nassau community is an entirely inappropriate location for a casino. It is surrounded by educational institutions from preschool through graduate, and the suburban communities that should not be exposed to the traffic, crime, economic hardship to local businesses and negative impacts that a casino would bring. It says there are many other locations in and around New York City that a casino could be, and basically NYB, not in my backyard. And good for Hofstra. A real open letter. I applaud them. Because that would be a nightmare in that area if they put a casino there.
You think?
Oh, sure. I mean, first of all, you get the crime syndicate involved.
Isn't there already a casino not far from here?
Is there a casino not far from here? I do not know. I mean, gambling is now legal, but I don't, other than the OTBs that are around, and if you ever want to see the plight of Americana, if you ever want to see what's wrong, take a day off and go to an OTB at about 12:30 on a Tuesday. It's not a pretty sight. You'll stay in school. This is what you do with kids that are thinking about not going to school. You take them on a field trip to an OTB on a Tuesday.
Nice.
You see these guys, just a smoke-filled room with guys with rolled-up newspapers. And,
oh yeah, let's go there.
Obviously single, long ago, divorced 2 or 3 times, many children in different parts of the country, and they're sitting there watching a little 2x2-inch TV, hoping and praying that their 4-legged friend makes it through the finish line. That's true. That is true. So that was what was that? That was Scream. Did you see? So are there any other? So there was no other real movies that are out, right?
I don't think there's anything else out that I'm aware of.
I told you what Chris Rock got paid for doing that Netflix special, right?
What?
Chris Rock.
No.
Oh, so Chris Rock, listen to this, people. Chris Rock did his Netflix special. We talked about it on the last show. It was called Selective Outrage, and it was okay. It was an hour. He got paid $20 million.
$20 million.
$20 million. 40 because he did 2 specials. One happened already, and then this one was the second.
I don't get it. It wasn't that fun.
It wasn't that fun. I mean, it was, basic Chris Rock. It was fine, but it was.
The last 10 minutes of the show was the best part.
Yeah, I was waiting for that, and he just went off.
I maybe giggled twice during the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think
it was funny. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah,
it's not funny.
He seemed. I don't want to say nervous, but he seemed. There was something that wasn't relaxing or at ease about his style. He was very fast and very, he was, first of all, he was probably up on coke.
He kept repeating himself.
Yeah, I was saying that to, I mentioned that on the show. I said he would set up every joke by saying it 3 times.
Yeah, I don't get it. What the hell are you doing?
And
repeat over.
Yeah, he'd be like, my daughter is rich. My daughter is rich. My daughter is, and he would say it and then get into the joke, and I don't know, that was annoying to me too.
Man, someone didn't advise him very well.
It was probably So I don't who's ever doing it. I mean,
it didn't work.
It didn't work, but the only smart thing he did was wait. As he did, and didn't come out right away, and knew that this would be a moneymaker for him, and held off on any interviews or anything, and held it until he did a Netflix special.
You know what? It kind of reminded me of George Carlin's last stand-up before he died.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't funny,
right?
Unfortunately, and I love George.
Me too.
It wasn't funny. He was just like rambling on about things.
Yeah.
I didn't get it, and Chris Rock's new show reminded me of that. It just wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, it was a little rambly. I mean, he had a theme that he supposedly had was about the selected outrage, but, and the wokeness and all that, but it kind of just, it was all over the place.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, so, whatever. I'm sure he doesn't care. He's got his money.
Yeah, what does he get? He's at $20 million.
Exactly, that was a $20 million.
He embarrassed Will and Jada.
And he did right. He did what he wanted. He got a $20 million check, and he went off on them too for 10 minutes. So that's a score for him. And all of that for one slap on the face. Would you take a slap on the face for that? I would.
Oh, sure.
Right?
$20 million? Hell yeah.
I would even take a punch in the stomach. In addition.
All right.
And here's another thing about St. Patrick's Day. I was looking up a little history. Did you know the leprechauns are not a real thing?
Oh, Steve, you're killing me.
I'm sorry. It's almost as devastating as hearing there's no Santa Claus.
You have ruined my night.
There are no such things. And so even when you watch that movie, Leprechaun, there are no such things. It was a myth from the Irish about these fairies, these little fairies. And again, I'll be careful on that joke. That these little dream catcher or whatever they are, and they were called leprechauns, and I'll just close the show on that. No, I'm sure I'll be closed anyway. I won't have to sign off. I'll be signed off. I probably are. Nobody's probably listening to me right now. Probably on some kind of Facebook wall.
You might want to watch your back when you walk out of
there. That's all right. So that was. If you're looking for a good book to read, I have got a book suggestion. Atomic Habits. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's really good. It's about creating really good habits, not only fitness-wise, as I'm into fitness, but just habits overall. Like when we talk about writing and getting into good habits writing. There's habits that are created for all different things, whatever your passion is, arts or otherwise. So he really breaks it down. It's a good book.
Okay.
Atomic Habits. Yeah, very good. It's I was perusing it, and I think it's a pretty good read. Pretty interesting stuff.
I will look out for that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It kind of puts everything into a good place. There was something else I wanted to take a look at. Oh my God! You know that song You know, this is. You remember that group 9 Days with John Hampson?
No.
Okay, there was you know this song, "Absolutely," the story of a girl. This is the story of a girl about a girl who cried the whole world or something like that. It's a famous song, and it was a pop song in the '90s. Became really popular.
I know Jack and Diane by John Helen. Yeah.
No, not that song. So it was actually in Everything and Anything All at Once. Everything, Anything, All, whatever it is. It was in that movie. And he is a Wantor High School teacher, because he gave up the band life. He still will perform. He'll be around the Long Island area and they'll perform that song. You know, it's like one of those 90s bands that had that one big song. You know, you'll know it if you look it up.
Yeah.
I can't play it because of restrictions. Copyright restrictions.
So,
and I don't want to pay for the song. So maybe I should get him as a guest on the show. I'm thinking of reaching out to get him as a guest
go for it.
on the Steve Squared Show, because he's. I think he would be a great guest. Someone that was, I'd like to talk music about. He was someone in that '90s time when all the bands were playing. It was a lot more band oriented, and they were a good group. But that was they had the one big hit. So I think I'm going to try to get him on the Steve Squared Show.
Great idea.
Yeah, I have such few good ideas, and that one just popped into my head. So we'll try to get him. We'll try to deliver that for you. And then there was something else here. Hold on. Yeah, that is. I'm trying to figure out the name of that. Hold on a second. This was it. I guess this is it. This is kind of funny. I haven't read these in a while, but there was one of those Dear. We used to do the Dear Amy thing. And I would have Emily answer as Dear Amy. So since I brought Amy or Emily up, I'll read one of them. This was a pretty funny one. It said, I went on a fun first date the other night. However, this guy was not my type, and there was a lot of things he did that were annoying and bothered me. She said, we didn't hit it off by any means. I didn't care for him. So I thought he'd be perfect for a friend of mine. So she says, how do I tell my friend that this guy's no good for me? He's a loser, annoying, actually not very handsome. He'd be perfect for you. Do you think that would be offensive to my friend, or should I go for it? Signed, I'm a loser. I added the loser. She actually signed Matchmaker. Matchmaker? So the Dear Amy said, well, you sound like you really, care about your friend and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. You're trying to hook your friend up with a loser.
Yeah, if you're willing to do that, you don't give a shit.
Because you wouldn't, if this guy's a catch, you're going to keep him. She's like, he's jobless, he has nothing, he's unshowered, unkept. I think he'd be perfect for you.
You think your friend is so desperate?
That's what I mean. That's all that's coming through that. That's a friendship that's going to end.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that. That's what I should be. That's another thing. Besides being the great negotiator, I need to give advice. They need a Dear Steve Square column.
That's what we're missing.
I'm telling you, I'd fix up Long Island. Maybe I should run for mayor of Long Island. Does Long Island have one giant mayor?
That's what Long Island needs.
I'll wear this hat, the St. Paddy's Day hat. I'm doing away with all parades. Let me tell you, that's my first order. I do not like seeing people march down streets. That bothers me. We're not living during. This is not the 1930s or 40s. We don't need to see people marching down streets. It's enough already with stupid parades.
Oh, let them have their parade.
All right, fine. I never got a parade. I still don't get it. I don't. Do you get a parade? Like, I don't understand it anyway. I'm not a big fan of the parade.
No, I don't watch them.
I get that. I get for the kids. They like that Thanksgiving Day parade where they, the big inflatables. I guess that could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, why watch that one anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for a kid, I guess that's fun. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. Not really happy about that.
You're very angry.
Yeah, just not. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just, I'll tell you another thing that angers me. Here, I'll pull this out. I don't know if you're watching the show. I don't know if you're watching, but this has to stop right now. I understand you want to make things included for everybody, but look what they're now covering on Newsday. They're covering bowling.
Bowling.
They got boys and girls bowling, and their feature stories on bowling. I've gone bowling. It's fun. I don't know if it should be a featured story. Have you ever bowled?
Not in a long time.
Yeah, me too. I haven't bowled in a long time. I used to they still have bowling alleys? I think that should have been something done away with post-pandemic.
Bowling alleys are still a thing.
Wearing other people's shoes and putting your fingers in other people's balls. Needed.
They're still a thing, but no, I have no use for a bowl.
All right, no bowling. All right, so this was also, I'm calling out again, I have to call out the library, the Massapequa Library. They have a new club called the Tinkers Guild. Like, it's a new club that's called the Tinkers Club. Okay? It's a club for builders, makers, techies, and it says, and nerds of all flavors. So, in this whole world of watching language and being appropriate, they're now equating the old stereotype that if you are a techie, you're a nerd. That's not right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But you know what I'm saying. No, I don't care. But I'm saying, you can't say anything. But right, boom, you're calling them nerds. I know. I just like to call out the library. But it says each month we'll focus on different technology, science, or crafting project. It's actually fun. I might join this. Oh, I can't. You have to be in sixth grade. You have to be in the sixth grade. See, to me, that's exclusion. Why am I excluded just because I'm not in the sixth grade anymore? Maybe I want to be a techie. I want to be part of something. And I'll tell you what I don't want to be part of is this show anymore. I think today's the closeout show. Congratulations! This is my 500th show. I'm retiring. I'll close it on St. Paddy's Day. I'll be here next week. We'll be in the studio. I'm hoping to have John Hampson. Well, I don't think I could get him that fast. But who knows? He's not been famous for a while, so he might be. I'm sure he'll be free on a Monday night.
Yeah, now you're really gonna get on.
Yeah, what's he doing? The days of the hotel rooms and the women and drugs. That's all way past. And now he's a teacher.
Yeah, you're a nobody. Come on my show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll come on. That's what we have here. Are you saying that the Steve Squared show is the friendly home show to nobodies?
Yes.
Okay. That could be our thing. If you have nowhere to go, you come here.
It's unique.
It's our niche. We take in we're like the Statue of Liberty. We take in all your tired, you're reckless, you're wretched, you're out of date celebrities.
We interview nobody.
We interview nobodies. If you got a little insurance business coming on the corner, well, hey, come on the show.
Are you bored with high-profile interviews?
Right. Come to our show because you can go anywhere and see Tom Cruise interviewed. You come onto our show, you're not going to see this deli guy who owns a deli. You're not going to see him interviewed on Carole King or on Jake Tapper or with Anderson Cooper. You're only going to see him with the Steve Squared show.
I don't want to hear Harrison Ford. Show me how to make a sandwich.
That's what I'm talking. See, Jeff gets it. That's another reason why we have so few listeners. Because nobody gets it. They don't get what I'm trying to do.
I know. You're misunderstood.
I am misunderstood. And I'm trying to get better at promoting and branding. I don't know how you are, but I'm not good on social media. I'm not good, I know you're obviously a writer and creator, but I have a hard time in the promotion department.
Yeah, don't do much of it at all.
You know, I got to get better at that. I got to be a better brander. I got to. Maybe I'll put Steve in charge of that. That'll be Steve's task. He'll be the promoter.
There you go.
That'll bring our listeners from 5 down to 1.
I'm sure he can't wait to get started.
Well, he can't even make it to the show, so I don't know how good he'll be. Steve can't even make it to the show, let alone to be in charge of promoting and marketing. So I better keep it to somebody that actually knows we're on. Which, by the way, we are on every Monday night at 6:30 to 7:30 on your new daylight savings time. As we close out another show. This was our St. Paddy's Day show. I didn't know when to do the St. Paddy's Day episode because the St. Paddy's Day is Friday, so I didn't want to do it next Monday. So I wanted to kind of do it this week. Talk a little.
St. Patrick's Day is still really a thing.
Oh, sure. I mean, listen to this. I'll leave you with this message. Here's this. Here, you want to talk about the bad stars aligning? St. Patrick's Day, one of the top 3 drinking days of the year, falls on a Friday. You do the math.
Great.
So, for all of you out there just wanting to enjoy some Irish soda bread and corned beef, please.
I'm doing Friday night. I'm staying home.
I would stay home, be safe, enjoy your corned beef. The Pope said go, enjoy, eat your corned beef full. Because if you get on those pothole-filled roads with a bunch of drunken people, it's not going to make for a good. You're not going to make for a good Monday.
Walking in the driveway.
Yeah. So I would just definitely pull your car, get it off the streets, and do that because it's going to be scary out there. I don't know who put St. Patrick's Day on Friday this year, but I guess it just fell that way.
Yeah.
And I'm locked and loaded. We got this wedding coming up. I said in 2 weeks, my nephew's getting married. That's exciting. Boy, if I was him, I'd be nervous. You're getting down to those last 10 days. It's his last 10 days of being a single guy.
Really? Weddings are still a thing?
Is what? Weddings? Yeah, sure.
Weddings are still a thing?
Oh, this is...
People do that?
Yeah, this is going to be a thing. It's quite a thing, and it's going to be coming up the 25th. Maybe I'll do a couple of interviews at the wedding and put them on the show. So what we'll do, that might be a good idea, to get people's takes of the wedding. But I wonder, I think that would be a good thing to kind of see what somebody goes through those last 10 days. Those last 10 days of freedom, when the clock is ticking. The guests have all been ready. The table placements have been set. There's no turning back now.
I imagine it being miserable.
You know, I'm sure his fiance does not want me talking to my nephew. I'm sure he doesn't want me giving him a pep talk right now. She will probably block my calls before I talk to my nephew. She's fine. She's great. They're happy. That's good. It's very exciting. I actually put on my suit on the show last week.
Oh, suit.
Yeah, I put on my jacket just to give people a taste of what I'll be wearing. But don't panic. Of course, I'll be wearing the Dumbbells T-shirt underneath.
Of course.
I'm always promoting dumbbells.
You gotta promote.
Yeah, even at a wedding of people that don't know me. But on that note, thanks, Jeff, for coming on as usual.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
Later, Jeff. Thanks. And special thanks to Jeff for calling in, giving his Oscar take. And thanks to all of you for tuning in again and enjoying a little Steve Squared. And it's funny, now it's dark outside, so we've brought you from light to dark. That's the kind of power that the Steve Squared Show has. Next week we will be in the studio, 6:30. Check it out, what we'll have coming up on the show and any little tidbits on different things on the Stephen R. Kaminsky Instagram and on Facebook. And we'll post some fun stuff. So once again, enjoy, have a safe St. Patrick's Day week, and I'm talking about Friday. Be careful out there. Enjoy. Have fun in a safe way, right? Have your, keep it safe. For myself, for Jeff for calling in, for Kermit, and everybody out there, all my Steve Square listeners, thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday at 6:30.